I'm not actually sure if the stream is actually live, which is incredibly good. It seems like it is. Oh well, if it's not, I will just have to figure something out. So, I was going to do like an intro video. But I severely underestimated how long that would take, which is kind of ironic considering the game. But I've prepared a bunch of stuff. It's on brilliant. So I'm gonna go through the basic premise of the save that I'm going to play, and and then we'll get into it. So I even have BGM for this one, so we'll see how that goes. Let me know if it's too loud so you can't hear what I'm actually saying. But let's get into the premise of this save then. So it's basically a last hurrah for FM24. Partially so I can see if I can play in an entertaining way, so I can do something for FM26. Yeah, that's basically it. So the team we're going to play as is St. Pauli, but not that one. We're going to play as the sequel, St. Pauli 2. So why are we choosing St. Pauli here? Well, they have an interesting board culture. Even if play entertaining football is quite nebulous, it's fun. The club has room to grow. They are expected to end up around the promotion spots. They might even get promoted, which of course is good for us, being a second team manager. We also have the novelty of playing in brown kits. How often do you play with a team with brown kits? That doesn't happen. I've not done that before, so that's something. They also have an interesting first team manager in Fabian Hürzeler, who we will see. We'll get into it more in a little bit. But he fits their play entertaining football. And part of the reason also, because there were of course different options for clubs to play as, but part of the reason why I picked St. Pauli is because this is their previous second team manager. Now remember that the board wants to play entertaining football. He plays a cautious 4-4-2. Cautious 4-4-2. That doesn't sound very entertaining to me. It's a great one, but you know. Now, like I said, the board culture is to play entertaining football. And we want to adjust our tactics as a second team manager to fit the club philosophy and the first team manager's philosophy. If they both align, that's great, but if they clash, the club philosophy would take priority. However, as you can see, Fabian Hürzeler is an adventurous manager, which I would say fit in well with playing entertaining football. So, just to be very clear what I mean by we want to adjust and play according to club philosophy and first team manager philosophy, I've actually looked a little bit into Fabian Hürzeler. So I will, in very broad strokes, just cover what it is that he does. If you want to know more, there's a video in the description of RDF Tactics going over more details, and in the description of his video there are analysts actually analyzing. I'm not an analyst, I'm not a tactician, nor am I particularly clever. The people there are, they know what they're talking about. So, he's adventurous. What else does he do? In very, very broad strokes, and things that we are going to try to emulate, is that he wants to create central overloads. He wants his wingbacks to keep the width. He wants to play a compact but aggressive mid-block. And he wants to force opponents out wide and spring a trap to win the ball back. So we're going to try to do that. And, well, see how that goes. To basically prepare the second team players to play for the first team. If Fabian Hürzeler moves on before I do, I will try to find examples of the new manager's style of play to try and suit that style instead. However, we are still our own manager. We're not trying to recreate or replicate someone else's tactics, so we're going to try to play according to our own principles. So let's go over those. We want to play attacking football. Attacking football, entertaining football, they kind of go hand in hand, and it's more fun to play attacking than playing defending, usually. We want to encourage creativity and expression, meaning that we want our players to actually think for themselves and not just be robots, because that's, again, not very entertaining. So the ideal way to play, I have missed one thing, of course. 80 million things. I have so many different pages and images, and I missed one, of course. But the ideal way to play for us would be a free-flowing, possession-based style. So we want the ball, we want to play with the ball, and, well, win by scoring more goals than the opponent, basically. But we will have 3 anchors in our team. Those will be at central defense, at defensive midfield, and at attacking midfield. These roles are ever present and represent the spine of our team. So think of it as like a Christmas tree. You have to have a spine, right? Ideally, the rest of the team orbits the spine, constantly changing positions and angles to make us difficult to play against, and to make it difficult to pick up our players. Again, this is the ideal. So how do we set up? We will have 3 different tactical setups. The difference will mostly be in how we set up our attacking positions. So 1 for playing against a back 4, 1 for playing against a back 3 or back 5, and 1 for being more defensive and hitting opponents on the counter. This will mostly be to play against teams higher than us in the league systems. So what is the goal of our save? We want to work towards getting a first team job, of course. Now, the ideal would be to take over after Fabian Hürzeler leaves, because he is, no offense to St. Pauli, he is too good for them in the second division. He will probably be poached by a bigger club. But playing according to the club philosophy still applies, even if we move to a different club. So if a club wants to play more defensive football, that's what we will do. So, what is the special thing about this save then? Well, all transfers are delegated to the director of football. I have the final veto on any transfers to my team, if I am the first team manager, but I can only reject signings if I have a good reason to do so. For example, it would break the club's wage structure in a major way, like doubling the highest wage at the club. As a second team manager, maybe the director of football is signing too many over 23 players, because we can only have a certain amount. If that becomes relevant, I will take that into consideration. I can suggest signings to the director of football, but I cannot negotiate in any kind of way. The only players I can suggest to sign have to be recommended by scouts or by the director of football themselves. The exception is if I move club, then I can suggest 1 player to bring with me. Transfers out are also handled by the director of football. I'm not allowed to block any transfers out regardless of who is being sold. So we can lose our star players on the regular. Depends. I can push for player sales by transfer listing and adding to the unwanted list. I can also push for younger players to be loaned out for first team experience by loan listing them and adding them to the development list. New contracts to players already at the club is also left to the director of football. Once again, I can suggest what players should be offered new contracts, but I cannot negotiate them myself. Coaching staff for my team is hired and fired by myself. I can only hire people through job listings or recommendations during meetings. Like for player suggestions, I can bring coaching staff with me when I move clubs. All other staff members are handled by either director of football or technical director. However, as long as I am a second team manager, I can only pick my assistant manager. The director of football and technical director is hired and fired by the owner or chairman. I will set the responsibilities according to which I have available. Now, as a second team manager, I apparently do not have an owner, so I am the highest ranked person at the club, so I cannot actually delegate the hiring and firing of director of football or technical director. So I'll just not hire anyone. Surprise. Scouting. I cannot do any manual scouting at all. I can only set scouting foci for first team players for positions that we lack players in. I can have a maximum of 2 of these foci active at any point in time. The exceptions, again, because we always have to have exceptions, is if they are suggested during recruitment meetings, are prompted by competitions starting. For example, international tournaments, lower leagues and cups, etc. Now, the leagues we're going to have loaded in are these. Germany, of course, that's where we're starting. We will also have England, France and Portugal. These are the countries that I will, well, maybe move to. I have also loaded in Spain and Italy, but I will not move there to play myself, mostly because this is, like I said, all the transfers are delegated to the director of football. I do not trust the director of football to know and to adhere to whatever league rules there are regarding transfers and player registration. In Germany, England, and France and Portugal, you don't really have that issue. As you may see, we are loading in the German leagues from far lower than you can in base game. That's because I am using a database. The databases I use are the German Football League system, which adds down to, what is it, Landesliga, Verbandsliga. It's very low. I think it's tier 6. We are of course playing in tier 4 Regionalliga. That's how I got St. Pauli 2 into the game. I also, as you can see, have a personal edit of the J.League because, well, there are issues with the base J.League players. They have swapped attributes. Long shots and long throws are swapped around. That is what I've done for pretty much every player in the top 3 leagues in Japan. It's not going to, in a major way, affect how the game plays. We're not going to see any new superstars or Ballon d'Or winners because of it. But it fixes a problem that has been around since launch. Now, like I said, the database that I use is the German Football League system. This is the Steam page for it. And yeah, again, my own personal J.League edit. I also use the Musterman iconic skin which is a skin that is more it's more suited for Moneyball play. I am not going to play Moneyball. I'm not smart enough for it. So instead, I am going to hang on, I'm screwing things up in OBS. The reason I use that skin is because it forces me to look at the players and how they are actually performing instead of looking at their attributes. So if you're not familiar with the skin, there are links to everything that I use in the description for the skin. There's also a link to a video from Musterman himself where he introduces the skin and shows off its features. It's very good. So that's all of the intro stuff out of the way. I didn't stumble too much, which is great. So let's get into the actual game. Right. Here we are. So what we're going to do is we're going to... Hang on, I actually have notes that I should probably look at. There. Right, we're going to create our tactics. We're going to set up all of the rest of the staff responsibilities. And then we're going to check our players. We should probably do that before we set up our tactics so we know how where everyone's supposed to play. We also need to do training because that's what we are here for. Training players. Do we only have a goalkeeping coach? We only have a goalkeeping coach. Right. I hope our director of football can get on that because we probably need to have someone else. Well, I'll take over. I'll take over for now. So I'll deal with the set pieces, match. I will handle arranging friendlies so I get the friendlies I want. Tactics. Yeah, I mean, I don't really have a choice. And who gives advice on training? I will lead the training in new signings. Yeah, I mean, I am the head coach. This is probably something I should be taking care of. Right, I have that one ready. I should set up the loan offer, or offer out, I guess. Regular playing time, adequate facilities so they don't train on a literal gravel. That wouldn't be great. Scouting. Probably need a scout somewhere. I hope the director of football can deal with that, since that's his job. Yeah, we probably need to get some staff in. But again, that's not my job. That's for the director of football. Okay. Let's have a little peek at our players then. Let's see. Okay, we have one really good player. Probably should try and build around him. Otherwise, it's looking a little bleak. So yeah, Scott Banks is our star player by far. So what can he do? He can shoot a little bit, he can dribble a little bit, decent flair and composure. He can run a bit. Do I want to change the DNA? Nah, that looks fine. He wants to run with ball a lot. He wants to shoot from distance. So what I have, what I've been thinking of is playing a... Let's create our own style. I have been thinking of basically a 3-4-3 narrow, where we will have our central defender, our defensive midfielder, and an attacking midfielder as the spine that I mentioned earlier. Now probably that will probably be what I do, because we also have a back 3, back 5. We can also have our wing backs hold the width. It also naturally lends itself to having a bunch of players in the middle, so we get those central overloads again, like we want to have. The defensive stuff is less about formations and more what you do, so we'll set that up as well. See, what kind of defensive midfielders do we have? Because I do want to make sure that they can actually play what we want them to play. We have Sven Mende, who is a ball winner. Yeah. Oh, am I getting... I think my recommendations or the ratings are based on the first team. Is it? Surely it's not. Surely not. Probably should bookmark the first team, but surely I'm not seeing... Yeah, no way. No way that Scott Banks is the level of Marcel Hartel. Surely not. But yeah, he's not brilliant. That's a lot of... What is this? Player sale handled by... What? I just blown him. Who's that? Is that the director of football for the first team? Probably. Let's see. Of course he's not there. Where would he be? Where am I getting dynamics? All. Yes, so the director of football for the first team is dealing with our contracts. That's good. Then I don't have to deal with that. I don't even have to think about it. That's awesome. Okay. Yes, Sven Mende is probably going to be the anchor in defensive midfield. He does have experience, being almost 30. And he's played a lot. 238 matches during his career. And has under 18s caps for Germany. That's not too shabby. Yeah, probably. He'll probably be our defensive anchor. Probably playing as an anchor. So he basically stays in place. Scott Banks probably shouldn't be the one that stays in place in attacking midfield. I don't want to play him as a striker, because he doesn't have the strength for it, really. Or the finishing, to be fair. So he will probably play off the right side as maybe a shadow striker. That would mean he will get up and into the penalty area more. And he can sort of go out on the right wing to cut inside, if that makes sense. Sven Mende is right-footed. Does he want to play on any side? No. But if we have him... Let's see. Not that one. Sven Mende. Okay, now we have different ability star ratings. That's interesting. Yeah, so the left-sided attacking midfielder will be the one that is more static, I guess. Maybe we move him into the middle even, so that the left-sided defensive midfielder can push up beside him more. We'll play him as a second volante. Let's also have our wide centre-backs be wide centre-backs. And we'll have a supporting sweeper keeper, because they will then be more supporting, unsurprisingly, while not being absolutely crazy like they would be on attack. The wing backs, who I want to keep the width, of course. I've been thinking maybe using complete wing backs, because they are not as involved in build-up. But I'm not sure I want to roam from position. I do want them to keep the width. So we'll see. Let's start with complete wing backs on support, because on attack they do also get the cross from byline, which isn't too bad, but I don't necessarily want to do that nor need to do that. Let's move the defensive midfielder anchor to an anchor role. I've been thinking of using an enganche in attacking midfield, because again they will hold position and not dribble so much, while being good playmakers. He should also have a lot of players making runs around him, like the shadow striker. I don't know why I wanted to say the second striker, but the shadow striker. The striker, I will probably play a poacher, someone who's not too involved in build-up, but pushes the opposing defenders out of the way, keeping them honest. The second volante will also be making runs up beside the enganche, and he will also have the wing backs making runs. So this should work theoretically. So this is basically how we'll set up against the back four. Let's see. Trip. So probably versus a back four. Because basically what will happen is we'll have actually, is this more of a against the back five? No, it's not. But basically the complete wing backs will move up and occupy the fullbacks pretty much. The segundo volante will move up, and basically we will have our attacking shape. The enganche will probably be in these areas, so not necessarily part of a front five. So we basically have one player in between every defender. That is at least the idea. If it works, we'll just have to wait and see in game. But this is how I think we'll set up versus that back four. And versus a back five, we're going to just copy over. And what I'm going to do is basically play with two strikers instead. Instead of pushing in between every player in a back four, we're pushing in between every player in a back five, pretty much. The final shape is going to be fairly similar. It's still if you want to put numbers to it, a 3-1-6, but yeah, it's still going to be about poking holes into the opposing attack. Defense? Well, the opposing defense is what we want to poke holes in. We'll go over team instructions as well later. And then we want one that is slightly more defensive. So we'll copy that one. Yes, I should also rename. Save as versus 5. Save. Right, then we have versus back 4, versus back 5, and the more defensive one we will have. I'll probably move him over to be an attacking midfielder on attack, which is slightly less attacking. I'll probably move over to be wing back, so we do have a little bit more support defensively, and might go with defensive wing backs, or wide centre backs rather, and a defensive midfielder on support. So he will push up, but he won't be as adventurous. Probably gonna go with a sweepkeeper on defend as well. Let's also go with a pressing forward on attack. We'll see how that works as well. I've not actually tried any of these things out. I'm basically just thinking as I go, or figuring it out as I go, and we'll have to try it in actual matches to see how it works. Right, so let's see, what should we have? I want to stay on balanced mentality, because it doesn't come with any extra instructions or mentality thingies. Like positive is more keep possession, attacking is get up the field quickly, balance is basically do whatever you feel like, mostly. Let's ask them to be more expressive. I think that'll be fine, because I don't want to have too many instructions as well, because again, I don't want to limit what my players are allowed to do. Just be more expressive so they can express themselves, I guess. That is, after all, one of our own principles. We want to encourage the expression of our players. Transition, we will counter press, of course, and let's take out short kicks so we can play with the ball. We do want to have possession, but we don't necessarily want to control possession, like play a control possession style. Yeah, let's leave the rest up to the players as well. We're going to play a mid block. We're going to be more compact. We will play a higher defensive line. When they do get close, we will press a lot, and we want to trap outside. So we'll funnel them outside, and then when they go outside, we will spring our trap. We might want to stop crosses as well. Let's go with that. Let's stop crosses. I think that's how we will set up, and then we will see how things evolve from there. We might have to make changes. As a back 5, probably just going to do the exact same thing, be more expressive. We want to counter press, we want to take short kicks. Higher defensive line. Much more often. Trap outside and stop crosses. I think that's what I got. Right. I can't remember. I cannot remember. I think so. I think I got all of them. Right. So the more defensive one, I think... Let's start with a cautious mentality. Even if I literally just replaced the manager because he was too cautious. And we want to pass into space, be more direct and play with a higher tempo. So we can get the ball up faster. We don't necessarily want to be more expressive at this point in time, or with this specific one. In transition, we will counter or encourage countering. And we'll leave the rest up to the goalkeeper if he wants to distribute quickly or not. We won't encourage counter-pressing though. We will keep the mid-block and the higher defensive line because we don't want to sit back too much. We also want to still be aggressive. Let's get stuck in. We want to trap them outside because we don't want them to play in the middle because that's more dangerous. And we will still stop crosses. Right. Do I want to play with an enganche on a defensive? I'll probably swap him to an attacking mid on support and just ask him to hold his position more. Maybe. We'll try that and see how that works. Now, granted, there's nothing guaranteeing we'll actually see this particular formation in use. Unless we play a bigger team. Well, not yet at least. Yeah, so this is how we'll set up. I need to find what central defender will be my anchor as well. And then we'll have to set up our squad planning and all of that good stuff. I don't think I want to do any... I don't think I want to do any player instructions. They all have dribble less. They all have dribble less and hold position. That's awesome. So that's our three anchors basically, with players moving around them basically. That's also why I want the wide center backs on support. They will stay wider, but they don't have any cross more often or anything. Like the attack one will cross more often from the byline, so they will drive super far forward. I don't necessarily want that. And on defense, they will cross from deep. I don't necessarily want that either. So on support, they will basically get forward when it makes sense, and that will mean movement again around our spine. We'll see how the central defender on defend fares. If he becomes too exposed, we'll have to adjust, I guess. Okay. So let's see what players we have. Check our goalkeepers first. Søren Ahlers is probably going to be our starter because he's the best goalkeeper at stopping the ball that we have. The others are decent sometimes, like on some things, but in general they're not brilliant. I mean, they're not supposed to be brilliant. They're in the fourth tier of German football. They're unlikely to be very great. Yeah, Søren Ahlers is probably going to be our starter. I'm not sure yet who will be our backup. They're all basically the same. They're not great. Central defenders. Luka Menke, he's actually got decent crossing. Maybe I'll have him as the right-sided wide centre back. Schella, he's actually decent at passing. Maybe I want him to be the central defender. The low concentration and decisions is a little bit worrying. Selçuk Rinal. Yeah, he can't really move around much. He's not particularly quick to have stamina, neither does Frese. I do not have any left-footed centre backs, it seems. And he's a defensive midfielder. Not a great one either. Oh, we have a left one. Left-sided, a left-footed central defender who cannot play with the ball at all. Okay. I'll probably try him out there and see how that goes, but that's not encouraging. That our only left-sided central defender cannot actually play with the ball at his feet. Yeah, well, let's start with that. In defensive midfield, we want to check our wing-backs first, actually. And we have a lot of them. Oh, this guy is a very wing-backy guy. He cannot defend at all. He's only 17, so that should get better. He's Tripoli. He works hard. I like that. He might be our starting right wing back. Well, I say that, but maybe he isn't. Maybe Luka Günther is. Because he is basically the same attacking wise, but can actually defend a little bit. Yeah, he's 4 years older as well. So Da Silva Moreira can develop a little bit. Yanis Torcan. He wants to play as a left back, as a right only. 21 consistent already, that's nice. Maybe. Let's put Luka Günther in for now as their right-sided wing-back. As a defensive midfielder can cover. Defensive midfielder can cover. It's Kretschmar. An inverted wing-back. Yeah, he's not as good as the other two. And Jessen is a central midfielder who can cover at right back, so he's not relevant here. Okay, and again, can cover, is a right back and is a left back. So we do have two left backs. One who's actually left-footed, but he's not as good as Torcan. So I think Janis is going to be our starting left wing back. Okay, let's see our defensive midfielders then. We need someone who can drive forward. Someone who can drive forward. Well, an attacking midfielder probably can drive forward from defensive midfield, shouldn't he? He can finish. He's got decent flair and technique. That is unless I want to play him as the enganche. He can't pass the ball, which is a little bit of a shame. Because Jovanovic is a central midfielder, so he can do a little bit of both. Maybe doesn't really have the teamwork or the stamina I would like, and he can't defend. Can anyone really? Tilkauske. They all have half decent finishing. He can also pass a little bit. Merke. Yeah, he's more of a little bit more of a defensive player. I don't really want a low flair player up there, especially and low composure as well. Dahaba. Yeah, you can't really pass the ball. That's not great. Manke. He's way too big to be bad at heading, come on. 192 centimeters tall and no heading. Please. Yes, and maybe can cover there. Kankowski. Deep line playmaker. I might want to have him be the backup to Mende. Was it? Yeah, Sven Mende. Von Knebel. He's a shadow striker. Can actually play that decently. Again, he's too big to be that weak. What the hell? Come on, man. Yeah, I'll probably want to have him play more as an attacking midfielder. Go with Jovanovic as the segundo volante. Let's try that as at least. We'll see how that works, and then we want to see our attacking midfielders and see if we can find out someone who could play that anchor role. He's a winger, so probably not. Well, he could probably do a job, but I'd rather have someone who's actually made for that role. If Clausen could actually pass the ball, that would have been great. He would have actually worked out fairly good for that role. Charles. He's a central attacking midfielder who's best as a winger. Okay, that's not great. He's more of a dribbly boy than a passer. Cannot defend to save his life. Max Marie. He at least has the flair and the passing. Would have liked to have seen more technique, but he's only 18, so he could get better. I would say, yeah, potentially a Zweite Bundesliga midfielder. So he can absolutely grow. That would be great, wouldn't it? Kauschke. Probably wanted to have him as a backup to the defensive midfielder that pushes up, rather than an actual attacking midfielder. Yes, and he's also more of a backup. Kankowski was the anchor backup, right? Yeah. Probably. And Von Knebel was the attacking midfielder. Well, maybe we'll start with Max Marie and see how he does there. And in attack. Do I have any good attackers? He could probably do a job. Posselt. Baraza Adam. Yeah, possibly as well. It's a bit of a shame that they're all so close, really. After I just laid out examples of why I'm using a skin that obfuscates how good players are specifically. It's difficult when they're all sort of the same. That was the point, wasn't it? are some... They're half decent, all of them really. Could improve a lot in the future from 24. I don't think so. I don't think so. Probably... We might start with Posselt because he does have the height. He doesn't really have the technique, but he doesn't need to be technical. He just needs to be able to shoot whenever he gets the ball. His work rate could be better, as well as his teamwork, but he at least can run off the ball. Same with Baraza Adam, but he is not as speedy, unfortunately. And Winter can only play for like a half because he has no stamina. Ulbricht can play for more than that, but he doesn't want to. Oh yeah, the dots, if you're not familiar with this skin, they basically represent an attribute range, where the small one, so the one for determination here on Ulbricht, is low, it's between 1 and 5. The slightly larger one is average between 6 and 10. The almost big ones are good between 11 and 15, and then if it's a big yellow one or bigger golden one, it's between 16 and 20. So you have attribute ranges rather than specific numbers. Oh, he dreads playing in big matches. Okay, because I was thinking, since he has the stamina, maybe he will be the pressing forward against bigger teams. But then he hates playing in those kinds of games. We'll probably start with Posselt and then we'll see what we can do. Now, our slight problem is that we have a ton of players. We have a grand total of 35 players that we can't really fit in. This includes players who have no position we actually use. For example, I know that we didn't see Li Guang in at all. Maybe it was actually just him, but we do have 5 goalkeepers as well, so might want to try and do something about that. But Li Guang in, what can he do? He can run and dribble. Do we retrain him as a wing-back, so he can play there as well, maybe? He won't be able to defend at all, but he would need to be a backup. But he has the work rate and the stamina to get up and down that wing all the time. Exciting young prospect who can get to the next level. Okay, sure. I will probably try to train him as a wing back to see if he can learn that. Hopefully he can. I should also check, is there any point in setting up any what's it called, mentoring groups? Yeah, probably not. The only one we have that's really something would be Atlas. It would be Atlas, and he is only fairly sporting. Right. And it was at this point when I started thinking about training and how we're gonna set up everything, because we need to set up training units and individual training and all that good stuff. We only have one more coach. It's a goalkeeping coach, which means that I handle literally every other training that isn't goalkeeping. And I don't have an assistant manager. I could use that to my advantage and basically ask for one, or go look for one. I might want to do that, actually. I might want to do that because I do need an assistant manager, And since I am at the second team, I am allowed to get my assistant manager in. But that's it. So let us place an advert for an assistant manager, and we'll see who, if anyone, replies. Should also maybe filter this one to be for managers only. Oh, and that little lag reminded me I need to set priorities so FM doesn't run on all of my CPU cores, so that when we actually progress, we won't have problems with the lag and the game freezing, basically, because that would be slightly unfortunate. Okay, let's look at training. Now, I could just set up a bunch of good ones, or a bunch of training schedules. However, I already have ones that I use regularly, so I'm just gonna stick with those, import those and stick with those, because it's easier that way. Okay, now I have to... Where would they be? Schedules, probably? They're not in here. Why are they not in there? I'm fairly sure I moved them over. Okay. Let's have a look. Hehe. We're live modding our game. Yeah. Did I not really not move them over? I did not. That was a silly mistake, wasn't it? Okay, let's see. There we go. Copy. And paste. And then we'll see if it's refreshed. There we go. There we go. So yeah, I have one for when we play one game on a Saturday, one for when we play a game on Sunday, one for Tuesdays and Saturdays, Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesdays, Saturdays, Wednesdays, Sundays, and one where we don't play at all. And basically that's it. It's just a very, very basic setup for well, any kind of likely scenario. Naturally, we're probably going to play a lot of games on Fridays, because I don't have a ready-made schedule for that. If we do play on a Friday, I'll just adjust one of the existing ones. But I will import all of these, so I have them for when I need them. And the reason I am waiting with the one for no games is because it's the one that I'm going to use the least, most likely. So that one being at the bottom of the list is, well, easier. Music might be a bit too low, really. Is it because I'm loud? Am I a loud person today? I could turn it up a little bit. Let's see. Let's give it a decibel. How's that? Am I still audible above the or over the music though? Okay, we'll stick with that then. I did do a little bit of testing, and I wanted to make sure that I was still audible even if I start mumbling, which I have a tendency to do. But maybe I will just have to remember to talk louder. I'm very audible, yeah. Maybe I'm just talking louder than I usually do when I try, or well, when I test things out. I do tend to talk way more quietly when I am like test recording. Okay, so units. I should probably make sure I I choose which players are where, what roles they will have. What I do know is that I want my wingbacks to be in the attacking unit, so I can move those over. Düring, Da Silva Moreira, and where's he? Günther. Okay. Who was it? There was one more. Right back? Was it? It wasn't Merke, was it? No. Who was it? Kretschmer? Yes. Let's move him over as well. Are there any who are more defensive midfielders? Yeah, Jessen. Probably want to move him over. Jaraus. Yeah, he's an attacking player. Kauschke. Probably move over. Jovanovic will move over because he's our actually, was he wingbacks? Attack? Well, yeah, probably both defensive midfielders. Basically, what we'll have is our attacking players in the attacking unit. That includes our complete wingbacks, the attacking midfields players, as well as the strikers, of course. And then the defensive one would have the central defenders and the defensive midfielders, even the ones that are going forward, because they have to be good at defending as well. The wingbacks not so much. So I do know that all of my goalkeepers are going to be training as sweeper keepers on support, because that's what we play with. Staugård was the left-footed player, so he will train as a wide centre-back on support. Scheller was the central defender. I want him to train as a ball-playing defender, even if he doesn't play as one, because I want him to be good on the ball. Menke, yeah, wide centre-back on support. Let's see, do we have any others? No, all of these are midfielders. Rinal. Yeah, he's not good on the ball, but he might be one of the ones that are better on the ball in the team, which is a little bit concerning. So I think he will be our second ball-playing defender on defend, to be the backup to Shallow, basically. Meanwhile, Frese and Appe can be our wide back, centre back, and on support, and wide centre back on support. Mende will be on anchor duty. And was it Tom Kankowski, right? Yeah. Because I want the anchor needs to be good on the ball as well. He can't just be meh. He needs to be able to actually pass the ball. Manke is also anchor. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I usually don't set up exactly this way. What I usually do is I have my my older first team players, which, well, I don't really have any first team players, but also everyone is my first team player, which is a little bit confusing for me at this moment in time. But usually what I have is the younger players are training more generic roles. I think I'll probably keep doing that for players who are under 18. So for example, for a goalkeeper, he would still be a sweeper keeper on support, but for central defenders who are under 18, they would all be ball-playing defenders or training as ball-playing defenders, so they become better at playing with the ball, basically. Central midfielders, depending on if they're attacking or defending, they would train as either deep-line playmakers or advanced playmakers on support. We'll probably have a few in the attacking because there are a few 17-year-olds. Fullbacks and wingbacks would be training as wingbacks on support because that, even if the role is not something I use, the attributes trained for that role are very useful for basically every position they are going to play in, or every role they're going to play in. Like it's crossing, it's running around, which is fairly good for a wingback and a fullback. They also train passing, which not many of them do actually, of the other fullback roles. And strikers usually I train as complete forwards, so they get better at everything. Wingers as inverted wingers, because again they train all of the attributes I want them to train. So I will probably do that with under 18s players. Märke. Probably anchor. Tahaba. He can't pass the ball to save his life. But probably anchor as well, to be honest. I would prefer to have him as a segundo volante because he can actually move slightly quickly. But he can't move that much, and he's not very strong, and he cannot shoot, and he cannot pass, and he doesn't have any flair, so probably do train him as an anchor. Von Knebel, he was an attacking midfielder. Whoop. Kauske, segundo volante, right. And Clausen, he was also an attacking midfielder. Shoop. The 4 strikers. Let's see. Let's keep them on complete forward on attack, because I do want them to be able to do a lot of things. So even if they don't play as complete forwards, I need them to be able to do the complete forward things. Scott Banks will train as a attacking midfielder, center as a shadow striker on attack. Actually, I might want to have him train as an advanced forward, because he will probably play as an advanced forward if we play against a back 3. So let's do that, so he can start getting better at that. Charaus. Let's see, he's 17, so attack midfield center, advanced playmaker on support. So that's basically what I do with under 18s. Agbaje. Maybe he will be an enganche backup, because he can pass. He has decent flair, so we can do the unexpected. Let's train him as one as well, at least. I don't know. Maybe he will. Oh, he's not very good at it. Oh well. He will hopefully improve. Marie. I'm not actually sure I want to. Now that I think about it, do I want to train them as enganches? Because enganches are kind of... I might want to keep them as attacking or advanced playmakers and just set them on support. It's probably what I'll do. Because there's a bit of overlap, but And Engancha uses way fewer attributes, basically, because they're very stationary. Da Silva wingback right. So wingback on support. Deering. Wingback on support. Von Knebel was the one who's probably going to be the Shadow Striker backup, right? Yeah. Shadow Striker. And if we move up and play 2 up top, he's not going to play at all. Then we'll just throw in another striker. Or Banks, of course. He would start, and then one of the other strikers would come in to replace him. Clausen. Also a Shadow Striker. Okay, and then we have Günther. Let's have him train as a complete wingback on support because he's 21. Düring will be on wingback on support because he's not great at the position. And Teochan, Kretschmer, let him learn the position properly first because he's not great at it, and that's everyone's training. Good. Now we only have the individual trainings left. Yay! I might set that up off stream because it's going to be a lot of looking through and checking who do I want to train in what specifically, and that might be a little bit too boring, but we will set up our training. We will just jump straight into our regular schedules. All right, we need. Wait, do we not have physios either? No, we need. Oh wow, yeah. We need physios, and we need coaches, and we need sports scientists, and we need analysts, and we need. Wednesday, Saturday, and then we have a Saturday and a Saturday. So yeah, this is basically how I set everything up. That's why I have the training schedules. If they are good, I don't know actually, but it's how I like to have them, so that's why I have them like that. They make sense to me. So that's that. Coaches. Yeah, I'm not going to handle any goalkeeping coaching because I have a goalkeeping coach. Come on. Yeah, but yeah, I seem to be handling everything. I haven't showed my manager, so here it is. It's not very easy to see exactly what I am good at, but basically it's the same. I'm good at everything, but not great at anything. But I'm good at motivating, so that's good. Yeah, and I went with adaptability because apparently I don't speak German. So it should mean I learn German faster. I also have my Continental Pro license because, well, obviously, I am a professional after all. But yeah, that's it. Let's see what kind of what mail have we gotten. I have been appointed. Yeah, vision. Develop players, give playing time to first team players. Yeah, there's literally nothing. They want us to finish mid-table. We're of course going to try and finish above mid-table, try and get ourselves promoted. because if we get promoted, we play in a better league, we can, you know, prove ourselves more as a competent manager, as well as well, playing at a higher level means better experience for the players that play for us, which means it's easier for us to develop players for the first team. Tactical directions, we have done that. Preseason, we have done that. Squad selection, no more than 3 non-EU players. I don't think I have any. I might have. No more than 3 over 23s. Well, there are 3 non-EU players at the club. Really? And advertisements. Did I have the non-EU players? We can just check with the my other team view. Here we have 1. Scott Banks. So that's 1. Lee Kwang-in. I mean, he is Korean, which, I mean, logically should mean he is not EU, but I think that it's the same in Regionalliga. Yeah, South Korea is treated as EU, which is very useful, so he doesn't actually count. So I assume it's players in the first team then. Right, and while we're here, let's check. Do I have anyone who can throw the ball far? Luca Günther can throw the ball far, as can Erik da Silva Moreira. And Lee Kwang-in can actually throw the ball, so we might actually... They're not brilliant. They can sort of throw the ball, so we might do long throws. Otherwise, for set pieces, I'm not going to be using any like meta. And here we go. Australia, I believe, counts as non-EU. Or, well, maybe. I'll have to check. Is Australia non-EU? Oh, they don't care in Zweite Bundesliga, okay. Well, I have to check now. I have to know. Australia does not count, okay. So it's the Brazilian and... Who was it? The Brazilian and the English Nigerian, I guess? So we have found the... we have found all of the non-EU players. What else was it I was gonna do? What do I need to do? I've set up training. Do I have any finances? Yes. We are spending almost twice what we are allowed to spend on wages. That's great. Let's see, we should probably set up some short lists. I usually do. First team players. Starters. And let's go with a future expensive. And we also want one that is for free players. One that is for loans. Don't sing. I know you wanted to. Players are free. I don't need to keep scout reports on. Or they don't have to be up to date. I think that'll be fine for now. I usually have a few more, but I don't really need to right now. Right, we should set up the squad planner because that's actually useful. Why is the actual guy who's supposed to play here? What was his name? Damn it. Tochan, Yanis Tochan. You start. And Günther starts. And you have Schelle, Menke, and Stargård. So what I usually do here is I set up the ones that are starting, and then remove everyone who is not supposed to be playing in that position. What's it called? It's not planned for him to play there. So I can see just where I have players and who I have. So Shella and Rinal. Uppifrån Manke. I have an extra. No, Manke is not a central defender. He's a. There we go. And was it Upper? He is right only, so let's not play him on the left. He can play on the right. So Frese out. Minke is not here. Scheller is not here. Von Knebel is definitely not here. I've already forgotten who's playing where. Tihi. Also, Jovanovic was not playing here. Kankovsky was my planned backup. Then Dahaba. Manke as well. Kauske was that guy, right? No. Clausen. Definitely no, he's an attacking mid. Jessen, I think was... Can I see it from here? I can. Perfect. I don't have to click a bunch. He was the second branch. Merke. This is taking way longer than it should be. So he stays. Manke, I believe, also was. We have a lot of defensive midfielders though. Anchor and Dahaba and Kankovsky also, right? Let's just make sure. Anchor and Kankovsky. Anchor, okay. And then not any of the players who are already in the starting positions. Merke. Oh, Dahaba is not supposed to be here. That's Jovanovic. Dahaba was Anchor, yeah. Gone. Merke. I can just check over here now. Merke, Manke. Dahaba, Kankovsky. So Kauske, not Clausen, right? No, but Jessen. Right, I have to check. I'm too dumb for this. I'm not smart enough yet. Not Clausen, but Jessen. Yeah, and Kauske. Yep, okay. We have that sorted. We have the left wing back sorted. We have the right wing back sorted. Von Knebel, no. Agbaje is already a... Oh, it's not put banks in. Okay, that's not useful. Agbaje is a starter or a player for this position. As is Max Marie. Kankovsky is not. Kauske was not, right? Nope. And not Jovanovic. Jessen is not. I'm starting to remember who they are. Clausen was not. Jaraus. Maybe, was he? Let's see. Yep. And Von Knebel was... Yeah, he was the second striker. So that is the Enganche setup. And then we have to add... Where are you? Scott Banks. There we go. And then we slowly move him up, because dragging is not fun. Jovanovic and Kankowski is not supposed to play here. Kauske, no. Jessen, no. I recognize their faces but not their names. Von Knebel, yes. Max Marie, no. Jaraus is also a no, as is Agbaje. I also should add where is he? Li Guang in as a wingback, because he will play there even if he won't play a lot. Is Ulbricht really the best we have? I don't agree. I'm thinking Posselt Baraz Adam, probably not German name. Ulbricht and then Winter. So, where are we looking a little light? In attacking midfield as Enganche. Unsurprising, we don't really have a lot of good players. Also on left centre back. I probably should see if I can get some of the goalkeepers out, because having 5 goalkeepers when realistically one is going to play and one is maybe going to jump in when injured is not great. So we'll see if we can't oh, okay. I can't actually set players to be on the development list. That's only for first team managers, I guess. Let's see if we can't... Wait, what? Ah, I'm not allowed to do anything with him, okay. Okay, let's see who's actually going to be our backup then. Shendzei, which I probably butchered. There's going to be a lot of name butchering in this save. Hopefully, unsurprisingly, Kokot is not very technical. Kolvenbach. He can be a decent third choice, maybe. And well, apparently, Gendersey I can't get out on loan. So let's see if we can't loan out Kokot. Aha! So it's only for players that I'm allowed to manage, because the first team tells me who I can handle. Okay. Okay. These are news to me. I've not actually played as a second team before, so all this is new. Let's add him to the development list and... automatically loan listed. That's good. Let's see if there's someone else. You know, player sale is handled. Can I set his transfer status? No. But yeah, so the only players I can really get out is Kokot. I don't know how you're supposed to pronounce any of these names. I can barely pronounce Swedish names. But Pascal, I'll hopefully be able to get out on loan. And we're down to 4 goalkeepers, which would be great. Bear I can't get rid of. Gendersey would be our backup then. Kolvenbach, a third choice, but that means we still have 4 goalkeepers. How's the under 19s team? Can I have a peek at them? Why is this so difficult? How many goalkeepers do they have? They also have 5 goalkeepers that are also about as good as Oh wow, can I just grab players from the second team? Or for the under 19s to put into my own? Aha. Interesting. Do you have any left-sided centre backs? Nope, not really. Okay. They barely have any left-sided players at all. They have 5 players that can play on the left. All of them are attacking midfielders. Yeah, good thing I'm not the under-19s manager, because that would have been quite painful. But we have our little squad. Might want to check where else we had lots of players. We're a little bit weak. I would like a better left-sided central defender. Partially because Stavgård is not very good. If we can find someone, or if our lovely little director of football can get us a left-sided centre-back that can take the place of Stavgård, then we might sell him, because I'm actually allowed to. Right wing back, we're solid. There are 2 great options actually. On the left, J.League is not great, but he can be a decent backup until Lee Guangin actually is good enough to play. The Segundo Orange is going to run a lot, so having those 3 there is probably useful. We don't need 5 different anchors though. Am I allowed to get any of the... I'm allowed to get all of them out. Well, it's fun that they have more current ability than potential ability in the roles they play. Okay. Mende, of course, we need to keep around. Hopefully he gets a new contract. Kankovsky is the backup. Dahaba, probably our 3rd choice. I would rather not though, because he can't pass the ball. Let's see if we can't find him a loan. And Monk as well. He can... well, we have other players who can cover in many positions, so let's see if we can't find him alone as well. Transfer development list, because I don't really want to sell players. And we don't really have tons of players for the attacking positions, especially not the enganche, which will be interesting to see how that actually works at this level with the players we have. The Shadow Striker, I will just keep everyone. Strikers, I might want to get Winter out. Or do I? Damn it. Ulbricht wouldn't be too bad to sort of keep around. Mostly because he actually has some stamina. None of the others do. Paraz Adam, not really. Like, they can only play like 60 minutes probably. Depends a little bit how much they run as a poacher, I guess. They don't work very hard, so yeah, Winter probably because of his no stamina. So let's see if we can't find him alone. Or the director of football can find him alone, that would be great. Yeah, so we'll see there. What else can we do? We could set up our set pieces, of course. Who's the penalty takers? Scott Banks, yeah. Let's add Turchan, Günther and Mende. So we have a few. They scored 2, they can take a penalty. Captains, Ulbricht. Probably not. Where is he? Yeah. The captain. Why is he the captain? Has he been around for a long time or something? 1 season. Mende has been around for the same amount of time, is a better leader and should generally have seniority. I'll probably change that when the mail comes around, so I can get Mende the armband. Can move Ulbrich to be the vice captain probably, and then just not play him, so he won't be upset that he's not the captain, and we won't be debuffed from having a terrible captain. Von Knebel. Let's not go with... Oh, let's go with Starboard. 1000. Kokot. 7 should be fine. So let's add also Alas. There we go. Let's do the set pieces. We want to do player marking, no posts. When defending, we want to defend the box. We go near post, we go defend transition, and we go in swingers. And that's basically what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna touch anything else. Except for, actually, attacking third, we're going to do long throws. And we'll leave that as is. Yeah. There we go. We can now, after what, an hour and a half, we can press continue and see what we get. We get a social feed and set pieces. Yeah, well, I've already done that, so you don't have to stop me. Okay. Let's see. I hope that we don't have any lag or stuff like that. Oh, that's fine. Or fun, I guess. One of the first team stars is wanted by a first division club. Code of conduct. Gone AWOL is always 2 weeks, and I can't demote anyone. I'm literally the second team. The rest should be fine. This is basically what I always do. If you go AWOL, you get fined. And let's see what else we get. Preseason report, squad dynamics. We don't have any team leaders. That's unfortunate. Targets and promises. Oh, right, I should. I do have one more thing from the scouting. I want recommended players every week. I don't need info on finished scouting. Replacement for injured player I don't need to have in my inbox. There. I don't know why these settings don't save and carry over, because for some reason they don't. Let's see. Yeah, we probably don't want to have a free agent offers up to 45. Let's go 33. Let's see. Actually, considering I'm not allowed to sign anyone unless or even ask, should I just not have agent offers at all? Yeah, probably not. Probably. Intermediaries offering services. Nah. Because it's not up to me anyways. Yeah, probably. Why did I press cancel? No! Damn it, me. Damn it, me and my silly... No, not that one. Where was it? Agent offers. Where did it go? The agent offers disappeared. Ah, it's out here now. No agent offers. Okay. Acknowledge. I want the list, and these are free agent offers, so we will acknowledge them. I wonder why the agent offers popped out here instead of staying here. Which... Oh, agent offers. They're all up. Okay. Okay. I guess. Okay. 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 Let's see then. Let's move on. See if we can get any... Oh yeah. Since we're finally at the first press conference, I'm not gonna be doing the classic just press the second one from the left and everything goes fine. If someone asks a stupid question, I'm going to be very antagonistic because it should be more fun that way. What does it mean for you to be given this opportunity? Great success. I like hard work and I'm so ready to get stuck in. I say with a smile. Was there something about St. Pauli in particular that made you sit up and pay attention? There's potential in the club. Was there anything that gave you a reason to think this job might not have been the right one for you? All of these answers are garbage. No, not really. Managing a team like this comes with unique challenges. How do you intend to approach them? I'm clear about my responsibilities. I want to make sure I'm able to help every single part of the club. Yeah. I know what I'm here to do, and I'm eager to take on new challenges, one day at a time. Good or bad side of this arrangement. But lying if I said I wasn't ambitious. How is that a negative thing? I'm hoping to develop in a way that suits both myself and the club long term. How is that a negative thing? No, I don't want to point my finger then if I can't say... I want to help every single part of the club. Why did this job in particular appeal to you? The philosophy and long-term vision, I guess? Appears to us as if you'd be more suited to a more cerebral approach to the game, a suit and tie style of management rather than a tracksuit. Do you agree with that? I'm literally wearing a tracksuit, dude. Let's shake our heads and... or shake our head. And I think that might be the most ridiculous question I've ever heard. On what level could it possibly matter? Let's be a little bit feisty. You're a noted polyglot. How useful is your multilingualism in today's football culture? Considering I don't know the language of the country I'm currently managing, that's... yeah, I don't know. There's nothing other teams won't have at their disposal. Yeah. How much work do you think is needed to bring the squad up to standard? I need to work with a team to be absolutely sure, but I see no reason why we can't achieve great things with this group of players. Well, I've got a good idea about the quality of the players at my disposal. Don't know the answer to that question yet. Transfer business part and parcel. Yeah, I can't really do anything. I haven't done a comprehensive review. Well, I've as comprehensive as I can, so I guess I have a good idea of the quality of the players at my disposal. So let's go with that. Have we met the players yet? Only briefly, and I can't comment properly on the mood. Yeah, well, let's see if we can't fire them up a little bit. I had a chance to speak with everyone yet. What to do? Let's say professionals. Well, most of them are youngsters. I've seen a real hunger. Are St. Pauli fans important to you in your long-term plans? It's Germany, of course they are. We have incredible fans who support us in so many ways. They're vital. Yeah, you talk about the club's potential and where you'd like to take the team. We have to learn to walk before we can run. There's a lot of work to do, and the focus will be on doing things slowly but surely. On the short-term thing, we want to be the best. What can the St. Pauli players expect from you in training? Balance. I haven't made any decisions yet. I have, but I don't want to say that in a press conference before I tell him. Like, come on. Yeah, no, I'm gonna strip the armband of the current captain, and then do it a couple days later when the... because there will be an email about it in a while. There always is. Do you want to change your captaincy? Like, I don't know. Maybe? Maybe? Keen to get to work. Okay. Scouting. Yeah. We have no scouts, so... The chief scout currently oversees all scouting tasks. I doubt that. We have no one. We don't have a scout. We don't have a chief scout. We don't have a regular scout. We have nothing. Yeah, let's work on the possession phase, defending free kicks, attacking free kicks, sure. Actually, let's go with corners, because corners is going to be good. What was it? Yeah, let's see if the director of football's not started working on anything yet. It would be nice if he could, though. So these processing breaks is usually where we can expect some lag. I hope we're not seeing too much of it. It doesn't seem like it. Ah, okay. My goalkeeping coach is suggesting we swap the entire squad out. For no reason, really. Like, some of them are just Sven Mendes and injured out? No! Really? This is why we need physios. I didn't know he got injured. Yeah, we need a physio. Let's move him over to have general rehab. Is anyone else injured out? No. Damn it. What in the world? What in the world? Was I just given the entire under-19s team as well? What the hell? What? Yeah, we have the entire under-19s team as well. Why? Like, did they not? Why? They've been made available for me or something? I don't need the entire under-19 squad. That makes it very much more difficult to find the players I want. Then again, some of these players are actually decent. Like Tom Pollitt's pretty decent. Oh, an enganche. He doesn't work hard, but he's got decent technique. Oh, there we see. No, it just says under 23 players. I know that, but why is he here? I don't get it. Like, Did we get any good central defenders? Yeah, so I guess the under-19s team is where all the good players were, or all the good potential players were. Can any of them pass the ball? Nah, not really. well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Yeah, Mende is the only one that has gone injury from our team. Dear oh dear. I did not need another 30 players in the squad screen. That's not very useful. Right. Are they still here? They're still here. Okay. Training, no, we're good. Move on. Move on. Let's see if we can get this first friendly in. No, it should be. It's time to play. It's time to play. Set to expire. Let's see. Can I? Not good enough. For the second team, he's absolutely good enough. He's probably my best player. Same with Alos. Menke. Everyone's a delay. So let's delay it for now, and we'll see how everyone performs, and then we can see if there's anyone we want to keep around. Shello, probably because he's still a young player and he is our best central defender. Mende, probably. Ados, maybe. Depends a little bit how the other goalkeepers develop. Right, and I don't want to do it from here. I'm one of the weirdos who picks the squad from the squad view. Let's bring Saibt then as our backup goalkeeper, because he's apparently good. Yeah, he's decent. Not with the ball, but check the other ones. Maybe there's one. Maybe there's another goalkeeper that can play with the ball at their feet. No. No. So let's bring Saibt, and maybe he can play a little bit. And on the right was Upper right, but he's bad, so he can not play. Dibamba. He has no stamina, so I don't really want him to be playing as a wide centre back who moves forward. Okay, no one could do that. Right. Let's have let's go with Dibamba. Let's go with let's just go with the youngsters. I guess they can have a bit of a shot at it. On the right we wanted Da Silva Maria, and on the left we want Düring. And then we want central defensive midfielders. I don't wanna check through all of the youth players to see if they can actually do the job that I want them to do. Let's have him moving forward. Backhouse, because he actually could do that. Same with Kalyan Schmitz. Same, really. Manel. Oh, he's actually good. He's actually good. Oh no. Okay. Manel it is. The under-19s players are better than my players. Shouldn't they be in my team then? Let's see. Who was it I was looking at? Was it Tim Hoffman? Yeah. So he will be the enganche coming off the bench. And then Stahl, no. Sadie, Kalle bench. I mean, he could play as that second striker, but I think I'm gonna go with von Knebel still, just because, so we don't have only under 19s players in our squad. And damn it, am I gonna look through the under 19s players for this as well? Probably. Maybe Max Poggi, he was pretty decent. He's tall too. Oh, but Hense can run, but he can't shoot. That's a shame. Petr, is he Finnish? No? Seems like a Finnish name. Nah. Bolt. No, he wasn't very good. Steven. Let's go with the budget, and then we will just pick a few. Pick a few fairly versatile players to take up the last 3 slots. Let's bring Kalle Bench just because his name is Bench. And Ulbricht. Okay, we have our team. That looks like something. We'll see how it works. We are playing against a worse team, I assume. I can't actually remember. I didn't check. Who are we playing against? Bersenbrück. Let's see what. Oh yeah, they're in Oberliga, which is the division below us. So we should be the better team. Give me a selection headache. Kick off. But first we shall. Let's stick on the unextended. Should be fine. And then we set our camera. Probably go up 1 speed. We'll see if I can actually keep up. Is this yeah. Okay, that's fine. We'll see how well I can figure out how we play. Because I usually play on comprehensive and struggle. Actually, I wanna let's pause so I can highlight our spine, so I can keep a look out for them. See how they move. Oh, that's a interesting shot, Scott. Mr. Banks. Okay. It's all throw-in so far. Okay, he's gonna take a shot. No. Okay, that's good. Jovanovic, well, that's not a great idea, was it? Okay, we have a long throw to our central defender. Okay. Yeah, this is kind of what I want to see. There's not tons of movement around the spine, but we can kind of see the spine there. Marie might actually be moving a little bit too far off to the left. We'll see at halftime. Huh. Huh. Seem to be playing a fair amount over on the left side of the pitch. Yeah, we're not getting a lot of not getting a lot of chances created so far, or at least ones that I can see. Okay. fairly decently at least. Oh yeah. Fairly underwhelming, I have to say, for a first half. Let's see the average in possession. So we have our spine with, yeah, so Marie is actually drifting more to the left. I would prefer him to be more central, so he's not in the same spot as Jovanovic. And Tochan is not getting particularly far up the pitch. How much of the ball are we actually seeing so far? So we do have the ball. Our defense is giving the ball away a lot, which isn't great. And we are really bad at crossing. Let's see, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to ask my... No, not... I'm gonna ask Jovanovic to... I can't tell him to stay wider. Okay, let's have him move into channels then. Because that should theoretically have him move into these positions more and hopefully push Marie back into the middle. Let's see. We'll give them a little bit more time and then we'll do wholesale changes basically. Let's point the finger. We need to use this match to set a tone for ourselves. I want to see an improvement. Yeah. Play better, please. Play better, please. Might actually swap over and do a bit of 2D so we can see how we look. Is there a bunch of flickering? There is, isn't there? That's not good. Yeah, is it the... Was it just a 2D? Because that's not very good. Let's go with a data analyst then, so we can have a more... hopefully they won't be flickering here. No. We can at least see some more of where our players are, at least when we're not in the middle of a set piece. Okay. And there we go. That's not great. Yeah, we're not... Oh, jeez, he's shooting from everywhere, dude. Banks, please. Yeah, let's do our wholesale changes so the rest of the team can get a little bit of game time. This is usually what I do. I'll at least for the first few friendlies. I'll give the presumed starting 11 will get about 65 minutes, and I'll just change everyone and have them get some game time as well. Make a difference, please. No team talk has been given. No. Confirm subs, okay. There we go. I hope... Okay, they went out for a... Offside? Really? Highlights for offside? Okay, good. Run, please. Run, please. Ah, come on, take the ball in. Shall we do a cheeky little shout, maybe? See if that... Let's demand a bit more. See how everyone gets annoyed. Yeah, they did. Oh, no. Maybe not. Motivated. Yeah, we're not creating anything. Be interesting to see. Oh, that's not great. Oh, come on, really? Jeez. What on earth was that? What on earth? Goalkeeper. What was that? Yeah, we're not gonna see anything else. It's basically the end of match highlight. I'm wondering if it's a case of we don't have the players for it, as well as well, being very early on. They are not used to playing the way I have tried to set it up to play. So we're not really going to be able to do it. Yeah, we had a lot of shots, but yeah, not very good ones. Let's see if we can't get some. I always find it easier to use the analyst view or whatever it is, analytical data. Yeah, like Scott Banks was hammering shots from like halfway into the opposing half. He shouldn't be, but he was hammering shots from everywhere. I would rather him like playing the ball off and then making runs rather than, you know, just shooting over the bar all the time, because he did that a lot. So that's 1, 2. I don't even see where this one went. Oh, it was blocked probably immediately. That's 2, 3, 4. 4 shots over the bar. From, well, 3 from a distance, 1 from inside the penalty area. So I feel like he's shooting probably a little bit too much. Let's see where our passes were. Let's not do that one. Passes received. Where are we? Yeah, we're not really getting the ball up into attacking midfield as much as I would like. But it's not that bad. We're playing far more on the left side. Is that because we have... see if we can get our pass map. Yeah, so the spine is a little lopsided, if you will. I would much rather that Marie was more in the middle. Maybe if I have Jovanovic be on attack, maybe he will push up more aggressively, and in doing so push Marie to be more in the middle. We can try that for the next game to see how that works. But we did have a lot of the ball through the spine, which is fine. Our striker barely saw the ball, which isn't surprising. How was the... I wanted to see the average position of the wing backs. I feel like they are a little bit too narrow still. So I might knock our playing width up a bit as well. Let's check the substitutes as well. Backhouse was the segundo volante on this side, right? Manuel was the anchor. This is a very strange midfield and centre back position. So we're way wider without the ball for some reason. So yeah, let's do that. Let's knock our for the next match. We'll knock our we must improve. Scott Banks. Yeah, I mean, bro. Did he hit the net with any of his shots? I don't know. I don't think he did. Fixture changes. Oh, they moved. They moved our Hamburg game from the Saturday. That's not very nice of them. Wasted too many wayward shots. Yeah. Bank's still unconvincing. Yeah, well, that's why he's training that position, isn't it? Isn't it? So let's see. We will go wider to fairly wide. We'll try that, and we will also try the Super Avalanche on attack to see if he pushes up more. And again, forces Marie to be more in the middle. Because that's basically where I want him to be. I want him to be in the middle, that's why I have him there. If he doesn't do it, then there's no point in having him in the middle. Then it might as well just be, you know, on the left side. So let's see if we can't make that happen. Can we see what tactic they are most likely going to use? A 4-4-2. Okay, so it's still against a back four. So we don't need to change our formation used. That's good. And we can keep trying our current one. And if it starts working versus a back four, then I can just basically, hopefully, translate what it does for the one against the back five. What was it? Marvin Schmidt signs pre-contracts. Okay, it's probably a good idea. Well done, Director of Football, I guess. Staff number update. Do I have anyone coming in? No. Dude, can you please find some dudes for us? Free agent offers. From who? I literally asked that I don't get sent these. Where are they coming from? Agent offers, no one. Free agent offers. Is it the free agents themselves coming here and going, hey, can you sign me, please? Should probably not receive them, to be honest. Now I'm kind of curious about them. So let's get rid of them fast. Because it's not up to me to sign anyone. Medical center. Oh, Knebel is... he's eating some shit. But yeah, we really need a physio. We really need a physio. So I can see these things instead of like randomly and when I'm about to assign my or set up my squad for the next match. It's like, yeah, 4 players have broken their legs in training. Surprise. Knebel's back in training. Well, that's good to know. Can you please tell me when that actually happens so I know? Premier League. Is that... Which stage is that? I don't remember. Ah. Oberliga. Okay. Yeah, oh right, that reminds me. Because I saw playoff. If we... Because how it works is the top team of the league is the one getting promoted. However, because we're in the 4th division, and if we check the structure, in the Regionalliga we have 5 divisions, or 5 different leagues, all going into one league. In Regionalliga Nord, where we play, we go into promotion playoff versus, is it this one, promotion stage, against the winner of, it doesn't say here, okay, that's very nice. Basically, we go up against the winner of the, please, Regionalliga Bayern, I believe it was. So they go to Regionalliga promotion playoff. I do believe that the other 2 promoted. So yeah, it's Bayernliga and Nord, which go into a promotion playoff to the 3rd division. So we have to win our league and then win a playoff against the winners of the Bayernliga, which currently has teams such as Bayern München, their 2nd team, which is going to be quite difficult. Ability commands are placed in the team. Well, so it's interesting that it says that this player's ability commands are placed in the team, but he's literally just moving him to a different position. Just have him where he's good, where I want him. This is why he's a goalkeeping coach. What's his tactical knowledge? Nothing. I knew it. Mirko, you silly bugger. You silly bugger. Training. Ulrich is training like crap. This is why you shouldn't be the captain. Not really. Continue. There was news about my player. What? Browse me, please. Missed start of season. So he's injured. 6 weeks. Tell me. Please, game. I really need a physio so I can get some injury reports. Holy. Okay. Wait. Oh, the first team won. Latest score. Ah, they're still playing. Right. First half. We don't have anyone tipped to be a top goal scorer. Is any of these young enough to actually be playing for me? I say, as I'm not allowed to scout them anyways. I don't know why, but his picture makes me think he's a goalkeeper. Christopher Kramer. Not that one, a different one. And yeah, that is... We're now up to our 2nd friendly. However, I'm going to call it here for today. We'll continue on Thursday with this game, or the upcoming friendly against Volkmershausen. I will set up the individual training in between though, so we have that done, because that's going to take a long time, especially now since I have to go through and make sure that the players I'm setting up individual training for is actually my players and not the under-19s, because I'm assuming they're still around. Yep. How many players are there currently in our squad? A chill 72. Okay. Right. But that will be on Thursday. Right, continue.